So it's December, and I started thinking to myself, what kind of videos can I do this month? Something wholesome, nice, and Christmas related. But then, the more I thought about it, I'm doing a lot of Christmas videos this month, as I do every month. And for whatever reason, I started thinking about the Disney films, the ones that we all grew up with. The more I was thinking about it, they're wholesome all the time. They don't wait 1 month a year to shine all the magic and goodness of humanity on us. They have to be whimsical all year round, and that can't be easy. So I decided, screw it, I'm just gonna review all the Disney films. That is to say, all the animated 2D Disney films, with some exceptions. Why? Because I love Disney, and so do you. Oh, you may act like you don't like Disney. You may talk about how it's an evil corporate monster that only gets stronger and stronger the longer we live. But the funny thing is, you don't have a choice. You can bombard us with all the genius, monstrous things that Disney has done in the past. You can argue debatable messages. You can argue debatable ethics. You can even argue debatable stereotypes. But it doesn't matter. Disney has always been there. For most of us, it's the first thing we're introduced to. And that's the genius of Disney, putting all their time and all their effort not in something adult, but in something for children. And once something has your childhood by the balls, it's never gonna leave you. It's there forever. Disney has practically become family to us. It's fairy tales, it's magic, it's everything that we enjoyed and thought was possible when we were younger. And as we grow older, there's a lot of other things to enjoy. The artistry, the creativity, the imagination. There's literally no other word for it but Disney. It's an artistic cultural phenomenon that'll never ever leave. Now, I'm just gonna state up front that I am directly ripping off Cinemassacre's Monster Madness, where James Rolfe reviews a new monster movie every day of October. I think it's a cool idea, and I wanted to do it with something I really enjoy: the hand-drawn animated Disney films. The only downside is there's only so many days in December, and there's just a friggin' buttload of these movies. So I'm probably gonna do about 3 a day, and once or twice I may skip over one. But I'll do my best to comment on as many as possible. And keep in mind, this is just my own personal opinion. If you like or hate any of these films, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just putting out there what I think of some of the most beloved classics of all time. So, sit back and enjoy the month of what I like to call Disneycember. Well, seeing how last year went so well with Disneycember, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna bring it back. But what can I do? I've done most of the 2D animated films. Well, it seemed like there was only one inevitable choice. Let's dive into the CG animated films. And not just the Pixar, I'm talking about the ones that Disney made on its own as well. Thankfully, there's not quite as many as the 2D animated films, but you know what? A good chunk of these films are still pretty awesome, and really have meant a lot to us in our childhoods, as well as our adulthoods. The evolution of the art form has changed so much, not just for Disney, but for animation in general. CG animated films are big bucks now, and on top of that, they get a lot of good people and a lot of good talent on board to make it as good as they can. The stories are unique, the characters original. They're funny, they're emotional, they're heartbreaking. They're everything that Disney stood for, but in a brand new way, opening up the door for new storytellers, new different kinds of characters, new ways of looking at things. It can't be ignored, and it deserves to be acknowledged. So sit back and enjoy. All throughout the month of December, we're taking a look at Disney's computer-generated movies. So after reviewing the 2D animated films and the 3D animated films, I was trying to think what would be the next logical step for Disneycember, and everyone seemed to voice their opinion that they wanted to see the live action films. Well, the problem with that is there's like a bajillion of them. I have 1 month to get through these, and it's just way too much. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, these movies have left a big impact. Just as much, if not bigger, than the animated ones. So it did seem kind of a shame not to talk about them in more detail. So here's what I decided to do. I'm gonna go through the live action movies, but only the ones that are the best known. The ones that left an impact, the ones that, whether for better or worse, we remember. The Mary Poppins, the Bedknobs and Broomsticks, the Pirates of the Caribbean. The films we remember from childhood just as much as Peter Pan, Sleeping Beauty, and so forth. Now the other catch to that is because, hey, being Disney, they like to do a lot of sequels. And keep in mind, this wasn't just a newer thing, they did this a lot in the past too. So, what I'm gonna do for that is, if one of the movies I'm reviewing does have a sequel or even a remake, I'll do another video just quickly summing them up, quickly talking about it, but I won't go into as much detail as the main movie. Because like I said, there's a lot of these and we gotta get through them. And why shouldn't we? A lot of these films are like live action versions of the animated films. It was so cool to see a woman actually fly. It was so cool to actually see the pirates come out and sword fight with skeletons and all the stuff that we saw on the ride. And of course, we love our animated magic. But at the same time, there was something really cool about seeing that magic come to real life. Or at least a little closer to real life. It made the illusion just seem a bit more believable. And that's what we're gonna look over. We're gonna look over which ones worked, which ones didn't, and which ones left the biggest impact and why. So, get ready everybody. This is the return of Disneycember, the live action film. If you were to ask a random person on the street who Hayao Miyazaki was, chances are they wouldn't know. But if you were to ask a movie buff, anyone online, or pretty much any person from Japan, everyone would tell you that he is the animation champion of the world. Only in the past 10-15 years has he finally started to get credit in America, allowing our audiences to see tons and tons of his genius work. But it turns out, he's not the only one turning out Miyazaki material. His animation company, Studio Ghibli, has also been turning out timeless classic after timeless classic. Again, only starting to get recognition in America in the past 10-15 years. And who do we have to thank for all this imagination being shown to us? That's right, the Big D. Or more specifically, John Lasseter, who's friends with Hayao Miyazaki and promised to get as much of his work to our audiences as possible. The result was the majority of the studio's films being re-released and redubbed in America. But they didn't just half-ass it, they went out of their way to get the best talent possible. The best sound people, the best translators, and of course, the best actors. It only figures that Disney, another great leader in animation imagination, would be the people to introduce us to not only such wonderful artwork, but such fantastic stories. So, this Disneycember, every single day of the month I am going to be looking at one of the films from Miyazaki or Miyazaki's studio. The one catch is that it has to have been re-released by Disney and redubbed by them, because, hey, it is Disneycember. Now there's only one problem with that. There's not enough films to fill out the entire month. So, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go back to all the films that people requested but I never got around to. That's right, the Nightmare Before Christmases, the Dick Tracys. Hell, I'll even go over the ones I did a vlog of already, but people seem to want to see the Disneycember version of it. And hey, some time has gone by, maybe some of the opinions have changed. So, every other day it's a Studio Ghibli film, and the other half of the days it's gonna be one of the Disney classics. But hell, even that's not enough. I want so much Disney down your throat that you'll swear we've been bought out by them or something. So, I'm gonna give in to peer pressure and also do a vlog series on one that I've been getting a lot of requests to do for a while. That's right, both my brother and I are gonna be doing a vlog series of Gravity Falls, right along with Disneycember every single day of the month. It'll be the most ambitious Disneycember yet. You'll be vomiting rainbows a week after watching them. There's a lot of imagination, a lot of great characters, a lot of great stories. Hell, there's just a lot of greatness to get through. So sit back everybody, this is Disneycember, the Studio Ghibli Overlooked Classics and Gravity Falls edition. It's that time of year again to look at one of the most popular, powerful, and most creative companies out there, Disney. But the truth is, Disney's been pretty busy since I started Disneycember, buying up a lot of other very popular and creative properties. Two of the ones that have gotten the most attention are Marvel and Star Wars. Two universes that Disney has breathed life into unlike anything we've seen before. Marvel now has a gigantic cinematic universe that all connects, and one of the most popular film series of all time has been reborn, making up for what many consider the sins of the past. Well, seeing how these are not only under Disney, but have given birth to some gigantic creative realms, it only seems fitting to take a look at these two. The downside is, there's not enough Marvel or Star Wars yet to fill up the entire month. So, once again, I'll be looking at all the ones I haven't touched on yet. All the Disney movies that have yet to be given the Disneycember treatment. And naturally, not only will I be looking at all the Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, as well as the special editions, but I'll be going over the new ones coming out, like The Good Dinosaur, and of course, The Force Awakens. Now, as many of you know, copyright has gotten even tighter over the years, so just to be safe, we're going to be using images on this one. But they're still the same length, and they're still the same opinions that you would expect. Or maybe not expect. You just have to watch to find out. It's the biggest mishmash of properties ever, but hey, that's Disney for you. And we're here to look, analyze, and have fun with some of their most enjoyable films. So sit back everybody, this is Disneycember, the Marvel, Star Wars, and everything else edition. Well, every Disneycember we try to look at the best that Disney has to offer. This year, we're gonna go the opposite route. If you're younger, you might have noticed all these sequels that seem to pop up to popular Disney films that don't really seem to be as good. This is because as hand-drawn films were starting to phase out and CG films were starting to phase in, Disney didn't always have a lot to do for their hand-drawn department. At least, nothing that made them much of a profit. However, that seemed to change, though not necessarily for the best, with the direct-to-DVD sequels. For whatever reason, kids just loved to see what was gonna happen next in these movies that really didn't need any continuing stories. And they got a reputation pretty fast of being the worst. You name it, Lion King, Aladdin, Pocahontas, even The Hunchback of Notre Dame got a sequel. As they seemed to make more and more money, they pushed him out faster and faster, and well, they have a reputation for being some of Disney's worst material in recent years. For a long time, people have been asking me to look these over, and by God, I didn't want to. But you know what? I'm an optimist, and I'm gonna hold out hope that there's at least one, just one good sequel out there. Is it a fool's wish? Maybe. But I'm determined to get through all of them to see if they're as bad as everybody says they are. I get a feeling they're right, but I should judge for myself. Even though there's surprisingly enough films to almost fill the entire month, there's still one or two that I haven't been able to get. So I'll fill those in with not sequels, but still direct-to-DVD movies that they made. Is there somewhere a diamond in the rough to be found? Well, all through the month of December, I'm gonna find out. Because you demanded it, this is Disneycember direct-to-DVD sequels. I hope you appreciate what I do for you. Well, seeing how last year everyone seemed to enjoy seeing me get tortured with the Disney sequels, this year I'm gonna do something kinda similar. At least, I think it's similar. In that I haven't seen any of the subject matter I'm gonna review this month. I'm talking about the Disney Channel original movies. Now, seeing how these started in 1997, I'm not gonna lie, they were a little past my time, so I didn't grow up with any of these. Why are they worth talking about then? Well, because the Disney Channel original movies got so popular that almost helped define a whole generation. Okay, not define, but it was a big part of it. It was to many kids what, say, Ninja Turtles was to me. Or He-Man, or Transformers, or any of these other silly things that a lot of people my generation grew up with. Yeah, they were ridiculous, but they also left an impact for some reason. Well, all through the month of December, I'm gonna take a look at these films and try to figure out why they were so popular, if they deserve to be so popular, and if they hold up as an adult or were they only meant for kids. And even if so, were they really any good for kids? Now if you take a look, you quickly realize there are a ton of these movies that go way beyond how many days there are in December. So I'm only gonna try and do the most popular ones, and if there were ever any sequels to them. Did they deserve the attention? The popularity? Well, there's only one way to find out. I have no idea if I'm in for something great or something terrible, or both. I'm curious to see what a generation under me grew up with, and if it actually holds up at all. Some of these are even movies based on shows. I'll get an idea what kind of shows kids were watching too. Am I in for a wild adventure, or nothing but pain? There's only one way to find out. This is Disneycember, the Disney Channel original movies. Let's do this. So every Disneycember I always find a theme to tie all the videos together, but the downside of that is whenever I do that, a lot of other movies are released and I'm not able to give them the Disneycember treatment. I mean, don't get me wrong, Disney has had its hand in a lot of things, TV shows and movies and animation of course, but as they continue to expand and keep buying properties, it seems like there's just so much Disney coming out all at once. So this year, I'm gonna make up for that. This year, it's by popular demand. That's right, there's no connecting themes, there's no one studio or one style of film we're looking at. All it has to do is have Disney's name on there somewhere and be requested by a lot of people. You name it, there'll be animated films I haven't done yet, Pixar films I haven't done yet, Disney Channel movies, Marvel films, old and new, even films that just came out this year. Now like before, some of these I've discussed before with my brother Rob on Sibling Rivalry. So if you want a longer review of some of these movies and a different point of view, you can go and watch those. But I also like the idea of letting time pass, whether it be a lot or little, and seeing if they still have the same impact as when I just saw them. After all, the Sibling Rivalries are done right after we've seen it, so this allows me some time to collect my thoughts even more. It is so cool just to see how much bigger Disney is becoming. I mean, just when you thought they couldn't get any bigger, here they are owning all these different properties and studios, and for the most part, they're turning out pretty damn good material. But again, we're here to discuss what works and what doesn't, what's timeless and what's immediately dated. And on top of that, what works as being timeless or dated and what doesn't work as being timeless or dated. So if there's ever a Disney movie, Marvel movie, Disney Channel original movie, Pixar film or whatever I haven't gotten to, this is your chance to see if I finally catch up with it. Sit back and enjoy. This is Disneycember by popular demand. It's that time of year again, time to look over Disney's best and not so best. I've been doing these Disneycembers for several years, and every year I try to have a certain theme to them, whether they be the hand-drawn animated films, the CG animated films, the direct-to-DVD movies, and so forth. And in that time, Disney has just gotten bigger and bigger, swallowing up more companies and trying out different things and styles. So even if I was to pick one theme again, there's so many new movies and shows that are constantly coming out that I feel like it'd be kind of a shame not to talk about them. Well, last year the theme was by popular demand, and it seemed to go over pretty well. I liked it because I could kinda talk about whatever I wanted. I wasn't bound to just one thing. So that seems like the best route to go. From here on out, Disneycember is just gonna be one giant grab bag. Because every time I do a theme month, everybody says, you missed this one, or you forgot this one. Well, from now on, I'm not bound by anything. It just has to have Disney's name on it and be watchable. Well, for the most part. The one thing I do want to add this year, though, is Disney TV shows. Now, if you've watched Nostalgia Critic, you know I've talked about Disney TV shows a lot with Disney Afternoon and DuckTales and so on. But these are going to be ones that I either thought wouldn't make a very good Nostalgia Critic episode, or I just want to look back and reanalyze, see if my thoughts have changed on it at all. The one qualification is it has to be a show that's ran its course, like all the episodes are available and I can watch them, so that way there's no surprises if suddenly the show goes downhill and I wasn't there to talk about it. So this Disneycember, the sky's the limit, whether it be live action, animated, TV, movie, DVD, whatever. If I think it's worth talking about, I'm gonna talk about it. So sit back and enjoy. This is Disneycember 2019. Wow, what a year. I mean, it was just, what a year. I think we can all agree we've never quite had one like it, and I think I can agree I really need some Disney right now. Fairy tales, superheroes, cartoons, bring it on. This is the world I want to live in, man. Well, as you may have heard, even more has been going on. I mean, outside of all that. Disney has recently bought 20th Century Fox. So I guess this year the thing to add is the 20th Century Fox films, but not only are there more than I can probably do in a lifetime, but I don't know, something about seeing the Disneycember logo over Alien just doesn't feel right. So the compromise is, I'm gonna do every 20th century movie that came out after Disney officially bought Fox. Yeah, I know Disney probably didn't have much impact in a lot of these movies that came out, there wasn't enough time, but I'm pretty sure they were under their ownership when they came out, so I think they count. But on top of that, I'm gonna be looking at the usual stuff too. Movies, TV shows, live action, animated, 2D, 3D, and now we can include 20th century into that collection as well. As I stated before, some of these you might have heard my opinion on already in other videos, but again, time has gone by. I want to see how I react to it when it isn't just right after the viewing. There are TV shows and movies that I change my mind on the more I think about them. So once again, we're gonna look at the good, the bad, the whatever this is, and see if any of them have changed over time. Because I don't know if you need it this year, but by God, I know I certainly need it. This is Disneycember 2020. You couldn't have gotten here soon enough. 2021, the year things got better? I think it's safe to say this was a transitional year, and for many of us, we coped by doing a lot of streaming. Was Disney a big part of that streaming? You bet it was. But another big part of streaming is also gaming. Yeah, every year for Disneycember, I always try to think of some sort of new interesting element to add to the mix, and like a lot of you, I played a lot of games growing up, and because Disney owns, what, 1/3 of the planet now, obviously there's gonna be some Disney games in there too. But didn't just have to be old nostalgic games that I played growing up, it could be current-dish games too. So I started playing them every Friday night on our Twitch channel, and I had a lot of fun. For the most part. No! I landed on you! You fucking liar! I fucking glided, you goddamn piece of shit! I think it'll be interesting to add this new component to Disneycember because, much like Disney itself, games have changed and evolved. They aren't just simple go and save the princess stories anymore. Well, okay, there's a little bit more to it. They can have character, they can have depth, they can have worlds they can explore. Or, sure, they can be simple side-scrollers too, but even that has a great art to it. Like a lot of you, I think there is a lot to respect, appreciate, and critique about video games. They've come so far from just two lines knocking a dot back and forth. And Disney, being one of the most popular imaginative forces on the planet, no doubt can and has turned in a lot of good stuff. But like the other years, it isn't just video games we're going to be looking at, it's going to be a little bit of everything. Movies, TV shows, Marvel, Star Wars, Fox, old, new, as much as I can fit in. Like I said before, it's been an interesting transitional year, and Disney, let's face it, has kinda helped us through the transition. Fairy tales, superheroes, sci-fi, and yes, video games play a big part for many of us in escaping, coping, or both. There's a lot to talk about this year, so let's not waste any time. This is Disneycember 2021, the one where he started doing games. It's Disneycember 2022, and as you probably know, every year I try to add a new subject, or genre, or studio, or just something new every year to keep things lively. And oh boy, do I have something amazing this year. It turns out Disney also bought Blue Sky Studios! Blue Sky, you know, the studio that made Ice Age, and Ice Age 2, and they made quite a few Ice Ages. But you know, come on, Rio! Did they make a Rio 2? Up there it is! Okay, as you probably guessed, I wasn't very excited to do Blue Sky Studios for Disneycember, so how about Marvel and Star Wars games as well? Does that work? I started doing Disney games last year, so if I work this in, that's something else, right? Okay, something else. Let's say if there's a movie I already reviewed, like for Untitled Review Show or something, this time I'll go into spoilers. Yeah, everybody always wants to know my thoughts, and I don't want to give it away, so on these I will give it away, if it's one I've already reviewed. Okay, look, it's the best I could come up with. Yes, Disney is usually very good at buying everything, but I came up a little short, so this is the best I could do. But with that said, I actually am kind of looking forward to this. There's a lot of great Marvel and Star Wars games out there from what I hear, and you might be shocked to know I have never seen an Ice Age movie. I almost took it as a badge of honor, but now Disneycember is going to ruin that for me. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll...
Check for poop.
All right, look out, look out.
Whoa!
There sure is a lot of other stuff I'm reviewing, huh? I mean, let's face it, like every year, Disney always has a lot of stuff coming out, with them acquiring more studios and properties and franchises. So as always, I'm gonna be looking over new stuff, old stuff, movies, games, TV shows, the works. This is Disneycember 2022, the Blue Sky Marvel Star Wars games 2 for 1 at a coupon. It's the 100-year anniversary of Disney, and boy, what a rough year to celebrate. It's no secret Disney has had a lot of losses this year, with movies severely underperforming, attractions shutting down, and just the all-around attitude not being as optimistic or innovative as it used to be. Now, I've definitely seen this from Disney before. They've had a lot of peaks and valleys, and in a strange way, I'm kind of excited because usually when they get themselves in a rut, that's when they have to think outside the box, and we do get something like a Little Mermaid or a Pixar or a Frozen or something. But until that day comes, we're gonna look over a lot of the projects that did not perform as well as they were hoping, as well as some projects from the past, and oh yeah, it's Disneycember, I have to add something new to look over too. What else is there? I mean, good God, Disney has bought everything, or maybe hasn't bought enough. I don't know anymore, but I just feel like I've added so many things I don't really know what to include this year. And somebody on one of my Q&A streams brought up that Disney technically owns Hollywood Pictures. Oh, okay, I kind of remember seeing that logo sometimes, especially before Tombstone. That's like one of my favorite westerns of all time, but I don't know, what else did they have their hand in? Oh, really? Sixth Sense? I didn't know that. The Rock? Okay, I like that movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie? Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, I gotta include this. Okay, but why not? I'm gonna include Hollywood Pictures this year. Is that like a big epic edition? Probably not, but Christ, I've been doing this over 10 years and I've just included so many other different themes and elements. I think it's enough. Disney has ventured into so many different other things, some working for the best, some not working for the best, sometimes they're both. I think the idea of doing like these big additions, like they're gonna add so much, might kind of be a thing of the past, at least for now. because they already have so much. But with that said, that does mean we already have so much to talk about. We still do have Pixar and Marvel and Star Wars and video games and just so many things out there that we can talk about, and they're still making movies, shows, games, the works. And a lot of these I'm excited to talk about for the first time, but also excited to talk about again. Yeah, it's the same rules as last time, where if I talked about a movie or a show on, say, Untitled Review Show or Vlog or something, I'm gonna talk about it again here. I'm just gonna include spoilers and yeah, maybe see if my opinion has changed over time. Some of these came out close to a year ago, and yeah, let's admit it, our opinions can change. Once more, every day in December, I'm gonna review something Disney related. So sit back and enjoy. This is Disneycember 2023, the Hollywood Pictures edition, on top of everything else already being bought by them. It's Disneycember 2024, and I feel like I always start off these Disneycembers by asking this question: what's left? I'm not talking about the fact that Disney's had some difficult couple of years, so they are starting to get a little better. I'm talking about what's new to add to Disneycember. I mean, we've just added so many. Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, even Hollywood Pictures somehow worked its way into the mix. What new element can I add? Well, for a while, a lot of people have been pointing out that Miramax is technically under Disney's name. And yes, while that is true, I kinda said a while ago when I accepted the Fox movies that I wasn't gonna do ones before Disney took them over because it would just look weird seeing something like Alien with the Disneycember logo there. And I thought Miramax, with a lot of its more adult-themed movies, kinda fell into that situation. But the more I thought about it, what the hell's wrong with me? That would look hilarious. The Crow, Clerks, Pulp Fiction with that little Disneycember logo there kinda looks amazing the more I look at it. And I can't pretend Disney hasn't also gone really grisly over the years, so yeah, screw it. Let's talk about the Miramax films. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, a lot of classics, and even a few blunders. Did you know technically the Tom and Jerry movie was released by Miramax? That is wild. For a short bit of time, Tom and Jerry was under the Disney umbrella. That is so bizarre to me. But on top of that, we're gonna look over all the stuff you're used to seeing from Disneycember, the anime movies, Pixar, video games, Fox, the works. And as usual, bits of movie I've talked about either on Vlog or Untitled Review Show, I'm gonna talk about again here and include spoilers, and also say whether or not my thoughts on it have changed. Even if it isn't especially old, but like I said, people can change their minds in a short bit of time. Like every year, I'm so excited to go over all these, and I'm so excited y'all are coming along with me on this journey. It really means a lot you stick around every year. So, let's begin Disneycember 2024, the Miramax edition. Plus maybe a bajillion other things. It's 2025, and it's time to go over the new theme for this year's Disneycember. That's right, I'm still adding new ones. As long as Disney keeps buying things and adding new stuff to their roster, I'll keep adding new stuff to my roster too. But seeing how I've been doing this over 10 years, like I've said in the past, it's getting a little thin. I'm not really sure how many more things I can keep adding. How about Muppets? Muppets, cool, let's do Muppets. Yeah, okay, this isn't just because I'm desperate to find something and I'm running out of options. I mean, yeah, I really probably should start thinking to the future about what I'm gonna do about this, but the Muppets, like a lot of people, has left a big impact on me. It was from the mind of a creative genius who didn't even set out to really go into puppetry, he just wanted to do something really creative, and that creativity shines all the time in this idea, in this franchise, in these characters. So, we're gonna start including Muppet properties that weren't under the Disney umbrella. Not only because at their best, Disney and the Muppets do represent similar things with imagination and dreams and a good sense of humor and creativity, but also because the Muppets and Disney haven't exactly mixed well this year. But, as always, I'm gonna go over the usual roster too. Movies, TV shows, video games, Marvel, Star Wars, the usual stuff. Like the previous years, if I've already seen something but feel like I might be able to add a new point of view, or maybe some time has passed, I want to look at it again, I'm gonna review that as well. I'm just gonna have spoilers in there, but don't worry, I will give a warning. So whether you still think Disney is a colossus of imagination, or a tyrant of business, or a little bit of both, we're gonna continue to go over their best, their worst, everything in between, and Muppets. So sit back and enjoy. All throughout the month of December, I'm gonna review a new property every day. So get ready, this is Disney 2025, the one where I added Muppets. Really don't know how many add-ons I have left.